Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you some information on how to create a driving question. So, although it might seem like a small thing for project based learning, it all begins with that driving question. That driving question is what initiates the student interest, it's what sparks them on their path of inquiry and their path of design, as well as creating and presenting their final artifact. So, in a lot of ways, this can be a cumbersome thing thinking about how we might bottle up our subject and our entire project for that matter into this one sentence or so question. So I want to give you guys some ideas on how you can do that. And what I found is this really simplistic formula that kind of puts it all together and helps you to compartmentalize what it is that you want the children to be investigating and how you want them to present it. So the idea is, even though it's just a sentence or so, the driving question should give the kids everything they need to understand what it is that you're expecting them to do. So we start with a question kind of lead in, we'll say. So for example, how can? Once we have that, we want to think about who is actually doing the inquiring. So normally for us, this would be our students. So I might go from how can to how can New Renaissance Middle School students. Then I want to just throw in an action verb. So how can New Renaissance Middle School students create this? It could be build, design, solve, whatever. But let's go with how can middle school students create. We also, from that verb, want to think about what is the solution that they're creating and to what problem. So how can middle school students create options for families that can't afford to purchase healthy food? So there we've now given the students the question, which is also the problem, and we know who's doing the solving. We still don't know what it's going to necessarily look like, but we also know who it's for. We know that it's for residents that might be struggling affording healthy food. But we also want to put in there what that project is going to look like so that it's very specific and clear from the beginning. So, for example, how can New Renaissance Middle School students create solutions for families in Miramar that are struggling with affording healthy food? There we know that they have to come up with some sort of plan to figure out how to solve this crisis of affording healthy food. We know that that plan is going to be something that they articulate to community members, because we're talking about people that live in that community, and we know how they're going to navigate the project from there. We don't know what their specific solution is going to be, but we know what they're looking for. And from there, they kind of break off into this path of inquiry and design.